And girls, humans, and pets, welcome back to the second game between Bigetron and Bigetron Infinity and OneSnap Esports. I was about to say that I was Bigetron versus Infinity. What? Sorry about that. And the second game, Ben Pick, is already underway. Bigetron right now is 1-0 in lead against their opposition. And can we take this game to game 3? Can OneSnap Esports step it up in game 2? We shall find out. Let me quickly send this over to our caster's desk. Go ahead, guys.
We're going real fast, Dave. We're right into game number 2, the pink ban. OneSnap got rid of Oriana and Lee Sin. Bigetron banned out Gragas and Alistair. Daniel, D2, Akuda. Talk to me about this pick.
I mean, the pick's on the screen right now?
Yeah.
This pick times 10. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm appreciating that they're not going for the Lulu Brawl combination again. Talking about OneSnap Esports, of course, which didn't really work too well last game at all.
But on the other side, we got something special. Lulu, Tristana, and Olaf locked in for Bigetron, and these are characters that actually work really, really well with Lulu. What Lulu does especially well is compensate for not having a tank. You typically want someone who can hard engage, and then you spend the wild growth on them. Tristana or Olaf will both do that. Vi can be a target as well, but I think you'd prefer to spend it on the Olaf, ideally. So I actually really like this Bigetron teamfight comp again, but it's again a snowball comp. They need to start winning early.
Yeah, they're really looking for, you know, all that support from like the rest of the team coming from Lulu in particular. It's funny you say that Lulu can compensate for not having a tank, but she's usually the support, so she's kind of the reason why they don't have a tank in the first place. But
so you're like, hey, we're not gonna have anyone tanky, and sometimes you play, you know, a Janna down in the support side, and then you need to pick someone tankier to play top or jungle. So I think, hey, the map's mirrored. So I think it's actually really important that Lulu has that differentiation power. Opposite side, when you get a Brawl support again, there will be a tank for OneSnap Esports. They also have quite a lot of damage. Kai'Sa's still taking up the bot lane. It'll be a Wukong post-nerf. Playing in the jungle. Zed taking up mid, and a cannon up top.
Yeah, we were talking about in the post-match and in the break about how just so little damage that OneSnap had last game. So good to see them really shore that up this time. Potential invade. They're kind of threatening
gave it away. For China, gave it away. And now Control goes in real fast, leaves just as quickly. Ward is in this bush, which is going to allow Bigetron to try and fight for it, try and kite away this red buff. Go in. Bigetron got the red buff. Now Blanche is in trouble. Big damage coming out from that Vi. And it will be 1 kill over, 1 kill in response as the Zed peeks down from mid lane. I think that's all we're going to get. OneSnap trade 1-for-1 on the early invade.
Yeah, and you can see that, you know, Bigetron was putting a lot into this invade. If they go in and kind of get pushed back, they have to come away with something, right?
Is this...
And... Go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, Dave killed Forchana. So literally the two supports. Supportal combat. There it is.
Oh my goodness. Just so you could go get that. No, the Zed ended up getting the kill on the Evite at the end there. But yeah, I think that Bigetron did that in response to that nerf on Wukong. If you take, sometimes people don't really look at the actual numbers or like what the change was. They just say, oh, buff, nerf, okay, let's not play this champion anymore, or let's play this champion, right? But in the case of Wukong, they nerfed his early game damage, but late game, it's either the same or actually stronger. So that's where he got nerfed, and so that's why they're really just taking advantage of that. Bigetron wanted to take advantage of the fact that OneSnap's Wukong was going to be weak in the jungle earlier on.
You can actually also see some really cool as Blanche is kiting these raptors into his bush to just play very well despite Henry's pressure. And it's a little thing, but it's a sign of the fact that these players are getting very comfortable with this game, with the range of the leashing, and I'd like to see it.
Yeah, and it's also interesting to see like what people can get away with as far as pressuring on the other side as well. Like what you can do as far as just using every single second of your time to be as annoying to your opponents as possible. When we saw that Akali come in.
We'll swap over to Bigetron's perspective. Do you want to try and say this Olaf's name? Me and Scoundrel had a gander at it when we were casting this team.
Wait, he needs to look at his own name here. lolwr. There we go. I'm go with that one.
That's like half the name right there. Where's the rest of it?
No,
Slicing Maelstrom will be deployed. Full engage. Darn near almost kills Chammy.
The minions!
Oh, might kill Chammy! The minions! The flash away!
Akali.
Henry can't make it happen!
Oh no.
Chammy gets to safety. Bigetron are unable to get the trade. That's a kill over to OneSnap, as to blah 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 blah. Will go down in lane unanswered.
I think I had a good crack at it. I mean, lolwr, right? Because like I'm using the Q's as kind of like O's, or like I don't know.
Ashqua
lolwr. Anyway, that I was about to say that is either the most frustrating thing or the most nerve-wracking thing. It's not good or bad. It's just very frustrating on both sides. Because as a Olaf, you see no health left. Like he should be dead. There's no health left. And then as the Kennen, you're like, oh, get out.
But Chammy did get to safety, which means they've got a pretty significant lead now in this lane. This is actually really awkward back timing. I don't know what that's about. Is this a lane swap that just got called?
I think they're just going really hard onto the Drake potentially. Like he's doing kind of a beeline toward there. So
yeah, back to get the Vamp Scepter, which is a very important Olaf item. That's of course most of your early lifesteal. We'll see if OneSnap are interested in this Drake. They don't even really have vision on it. They have a single ward there.
Yeah, and you can see that Bigetron's on it right now.
Everyone. Yeah, they see everyone from Bigetron on this Drake. Here we go. Blanche in. Full ulti. Oh, big Cyclone stuns people up. Glacial Fissure doesn't find a whole lot of targets in the backline, though. The Slicing Maelstrom from Chammy absolutely chews up Bigetron. And OneSnap are able to put together a team fight in game number 2. That will be their Drake. That will be their team fight in dominant fashion.
That was such a good engage that even though we saw Blanche there being very indecisive, they still were able to just completely dominate that. Let's take a look at it once more. He comes in, goes for the Cyclone, immediately just gets a huge knock up on everyone. And then the team fight continues. He's like, let me just take this Drake for a second. Like, wait, okay, never mind, going back in. Goes for the second whatever you call it, the run of the Cyclone there, and then gets another knock up, and they're able to finish the team fight with basically everyone at 0 health.
Yeah, I mean, check out that full Slicing Maelstrom from Chammy. With the second they go in and just stun everyone up, the team fight's over. And that is going to be what a lot of these team fights are decided by. You have a Kennen on your team, it is about setup. Once we get past the early game, people start having tools to deal with the Kennen. Then we're looking towards this Kai'Sa to be the team fight carry, this Wukong to be the late game carry. But for now, the Kennen show all day, every day.
Yeah, it just feels like the Wukong Kennen combination, along with a little bit of Braum sprinkled in, is what'll be the main source of their kind of wombo combo. And they didn't really go all in on it, right? We still have the Kai'Sa and the Zed to kind of do individual damage here and there. So they're not all in on that combo to take every single team fight. They can kind of do their own thing individually every once in a while. But yeah, that is the main source of their damage. That's what's carrying them at the moment here. By the way, the word I was looking for earlier was cast. I couldn't remember the word for cast. He had to recast his ultimate. Anyway.
Oh, Ragnarok? It doesn't matter. Killer instinct from certs.
That's what I was saying earlier. You actually take more damage when you pop your ult there. So it's like, I don't know if it was actually a good thing that he popped his ult.
If he doesn't pop the ult, he doesn't get off the Glacial Fissure, so...
Yeah, but just stand there and take it like a man. And then they'll probably die because you took it like a man. Sometimes. Well, maybe. It's probably damned if you do, damned if you don't. So. It's probably bad either way. Anyway.
I'm a big Ragnarok fan. I just like calling, there are ultimates that are fun to say in team fights. Slicing Maelstrom is one of them. Ragnarok is one of them.
True. But the thing is, Olaf is by far the person I've played the most, and I can't count how many times I've died because I pressed the ult, and I was like, oh god, I shouldn't have done that. I took way too much damage.
One of the most important abilities in PC League of Legends is Sleepy Trouble Bubble.
Oh god.
So I'm just excited to not have to say that during team fights.
Yeah, in the chaos, like, and here comes the sleepy trouble bubble.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's a cheeky back from Zed. Too cheeky, in fact. He's just gonna stand there.
Haja! Says our Olaf. Will interrupt the back. Ooh, twice? No, misses the second axe.
They could have actually maybe killed him. That was very.
If he didn't miss that second axe, they get that kill.
Well, he was aiming the axe at the minions, that's why. So, like, there wasn't good communication there, is the moral of that story.
We will have a Baron available soon. I believe the first Drake for the game did indeed go over to OneSnap.
Now, I'm very curious what the gold levels are right now. It is obviously 8-1 in kills, so it should be pretty substantial.
Pretty dominant. Very aggressive redemption. Easy turret. This will help secure this Baron. We are 20 seconds away. Rift Herald spent in that lane as well. The Baron lane just getting shoved in by OneSnap. They need to be aware Bigetron are pincering down through the river.
Yeah, so obviously we can see that.
Away.
Yeah, we can see that, so they can see that, obviously.
Fortuna and Control, both on the front lines. Glacial Fissure will be spent. Flash Cyclones dirty! And as a result, this team fight's looking real good. The damage needs to come through for this Kai'Sa in the backline. Slicing Maelstrom finds 3 stuns. They will not be able to stop Henry, though, who just dives into the backlines. Will drop into stasis, but I think the Killer Instinct has secured the kill, and indeed it will. Sets able to find it. 12-2 in the kill feed, and the second Drake over to OneSnap. As this time, the team fights are all going their way.
Yeah, that was very interesting because, like, take a look here. So we have the ult coming in from both the Braum and the Wukong, and it was spicy, like you mentioned, but I didn't think they were getting enough damage in, especially because the cannon wasn't there yet. But I guess they just had too much gold on their opponent. Finally, cannon comes in the very last second. Akali just dives the backline to get the Braum, but she has to die for it, obviously. Then, I don't know, I guess cannon just chase everyone down and they just had too much gold for them, it seems like.
Yeah, that slicing Maelstrom barely found enough ticks to get the stuns. It was very, I don't know which way that team fight goes if the slicing Maelstrom doesn't find the stuns. Probably still OneSnap because they have the Kai'Sa damage advantage. Full HP Kai'Sa hasn't spent the Killer Instinct yet.
Yeah.
So probably didn't make a huge difference. But
this is what I was mentioning.
Good cannon piloting.
Yeah, this is what I was mentioning earlier, though, is that they didn't go full all in onto the wombo combo, and so they can kind of take messy team fights like that. Whereas we've seen teams before go all in on the wombo combo, and then they just like fall apart when they don't have their ults up, for instance. So yeah, the kind of hedging here has helped them.
It's called ease of execution, right? You have an entire team that you just spend the ults in any order, and good things happen. And, you know, it's a very important thing to have.
Yeah, especially when you're ahead. You could just take a team fight whenever, wherever. Baron, I don't know about this.
OneSnap at 3,000 HP on that Baron. Have to fall off of it because there is some zoning off of it. OneSnap continuing to fight that Baron.
They're just holding onto it with a leash.
Slicing Maelstrom will go in at the very front of that fight. OneSnapper zoning around it.
Olaf, look at the fight! Olaf, look at the fight! Who cares if you're dying?
Matsurugi is diving turret. We will not see this Olaf die. I believe OneSnap won the fight around the Baron, but I could not tell you. It seems Bigetron are falling behind in that fight around the Baron. OneSnap should pick it up. And this Olaf is the only player alive for Bigetron.
Yeah,
Oh, we get the OneSnap replay.
No, I don't think it's a replay. I think they're just taking
You think it's live? You think they just mucked up the take and had to restart it?
Yeah, I don't think that's how our technology works right now.
Ooh, dive on the wall! Does not happen.
That's right.
But a very valiant attempt.
We've seen Vi take those before in the past.
Yeah,
so.
Vi wins those. Blanche wins the smite fight, though. Actually, I don't think Blanche did smite it, so let's get a... Okay, they did. Let's get a replay on this. They burned one during this. I don't know that it was actually Blanche that killed the Drake with smite, though. Or the Baron with smite. Let's see.
I couldn't really tell. You saw
That
he
looked
used
a
it.
little bit like an auto attack, but he did use the smite, so it was.
He used the smite around that time, but it seemed like a bit early. It did seem a bit early. Maybe he's just working with the ping. He's just like calculating 200 IQ calculation.
I mean, if you know that you got the auto attack first, it's very valid, but a little sketchy. Doesn't matter. OneSnap do get the Baron, and he'll use that to shove in. Henry is getting a little bit frisky, so we'll spend a killer instinct just to confirm that kill.
Zed?
Oh, Henry got the Zed.
Yeah, Zed actually went down.
I don't know how. All the Zed had to do was back away.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to back away from Akali sometimes, even as a Zed. So I don't.
You're a Zed.
Yeah, you
teleport.
Yeah, you teleport, and then she just fucking flying kicks you from like forever far away. Sorry for my French, but I've had nightmares about that in the past.
Everyone has nightmares about Akali. Cloud Drake will be coming up. Yes, will be a shift towards it, as indeed OneSnap will get yet another objective. Stark contrast from game number 1, where Bigetron had a lead and focused it on just ending the game as quickly as possible. OneSnap say, why take any risks on that front? We'll get all the objectives, we'll take our time, we'll build out towards late game.
By the way, GA picked second here by Wukong. Just throwing that out there. So still not fully thrown away by these teams. It's not the end of the GA era quite yet, as the Dez would like to have you believe. So.
Yeah, I mean, GA is a good late-game item still, and I think that's where it should be. Hopefully, we're going to start to see a shift towards, like, tank characters, not buying Olaf. I never want to see a Braum, a Braum with GA ever again. If I see a Braum with GA, I don't know. Life has failed. GA should be for squishies that know they're going to die in team fights and want to have a second chance.
The other day I was doing a play-by-play, and I haven't been in League forever, obviously, so I called it AG by accident. And then I just had this idea in my mind that they had the Attorney General equipped. Yeah. So I don't know. That kind of
they've got the Attorney General. We'll see you in court, says Olaf.
And then Riot had to nerf the Attorney General because he's too strong.
Yeah, I mean, he's the highest, most powerful lawyer in the land. Dive will come in. Bigetron trying to defend their turret against OneSnap with Baron. So far, so good. A 1-for-1 trade as that Zed oversteps. And you take those into a Baron.
Oof, Akali's trying to go in.
Yeah, I think Blanche just got knocked into GA, if I'm not mistaken.
No. That was his clone. So she jumped on the clone for a second, and she's like, oh, well, that's a clone.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Backed off.
Good job. Baron is available. Here's Blanche going in for a team fight to try and make sure they... early slicing Maelstrom. Chami doesn't get anything with a very important team fight ultimate. They'll back off, grab some HP here. Blanche with the smite and then the honey fruit will be back up to full in time to get back to this Baron fight. But there isn't going to be a cannon. So this is as good a fight as you're going to get if you're Bigetron.
I wonder what the... what's his ult cooldown is at the moment, because I'm not really sure what his cooldown items are. But it could be up somewhat soon here, especially because Wukong's just came back up. And I think they were trying to use it in tandem there. So I think it actually might be back up pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll see. Here's Baron. OneSnap. Not pressured on him. I was hoping, you see the slicing Maelstrom, I was hoping Bigetron would go, okay, well, we have a window here. But they didn't take advantage of that. They back away and just kind of try and play to a late game. And they do have a composition that does have some really good late game threats, but I'm not convinced that it's going to have a higher odds of winning team fights against OneSnap the later we go. I don't think they really benefit from that.
Yeah, that said, I think they're really trying to just force a team fight here rather than just forcing the Baron. Like you can see right now. Oof.
Control in trouble. Huge slicing Maelstrom. That's back up, by the way. And the game's basically over. Do in trouble. We'll run back behind their turret. There's the dive continuing for Blanche. And unless something disastrous happens here as Henry stays alive for a moment longer, OneSnap should have everything they need to put this game in the bag.
Let's take a look at that once more. Like I was mentioning, they're just waiting for a chance to get the hit on them, get the ambush, and that's exactly what they did. Good old bush tactics from there. Nice cyclone, nice ult coming out from Ken as well, and they just stomp it through and force that game 3.
All the way, baby. OneSnap pulling game 2 out of the bag with a series of good team fights. Very, very solid ease of execution from just overlapping really powerful ultimates, and that's all you need.